WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
All right, 25 minutes before 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Nice looking Wednesday. Ooh, it's a lot better right now than it did earlier today, right, bro?
I know, it's beautiful.
Do you know why we drink coffee in this country?
No.
Because they threw all the tea into the Boston Harbor.
That's right.
They did. They threw all the tea away. And we said, what are we going to drink? And I saw some goats eating something. And there's a big story. I don't know how that all worked out. But anyway, yeah, coffee is a big deal, right? Missy is in the studio. Melissa.
Good morning.
Martin. Hey, Missy, where's your microphone? There you go.
Good morning.
Now I hear you.
Yeah.
And you are here representing Hiers-Baxley Funeral Services, right?
Yes, sir, I am.
Because everybody's dying to drink coffee, right?
Well, I know people would like to drink coffee, and that's part of the reason we're here.
So coffee is always a good thing, and free is always a good thing, right? And Clint Lewis, we all know you. How are you doing?
I'm good. Good morning.
Good to see you. And you're representing the Dignity Roasters?
Dignity Roasters, wear gloves. Yes, I'm a board member.
Oh, you're on the board. Okay,
Yep.
and we're going to find out what that is.
All right.
Because when you say Dignity Roasters and then what's it? Wear gloves.
Wear gloves. Yeah.
Ministries. It's
Yes.
like two things together, right?
Yes.
Okay, you're going to help us understand that in a little bit. Stephen Tweedle.
Yes, sir.
You're the funeral director over there at Hiers-Baxley?
Yes, sir. I'm the location leader at the location on the boulevard.
Oh my gosh. Well, you guys do a great job during a hard time.
Yes, sir.
It's a really hard time when somebody dies. And I don't know how you do what you do, Missy, what you guys do. And but anyway, I don't want to talk about it because I've been through it.
Yeah.
And Sarah, right? Sarah?
Yes, sir.
Overfeld, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
And you're the community outreach leader for Hiers-Baxley.
Yes, I am.
All right. Does that mean you give us the okay to sit on your porch on a parade day?
If you would like to. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sarah, can I ask you just to aim that microphone at yourself a little bit?
Yep.
Yeah, everybody else sounded kind of clear. You sounded a little muffled. Well, good to have you all in here. Let me go back to Clint, if I could. What is Dignity Roasters and Wear Gloves? And first of all, Dignity Roasters, let's start with that part. What is that?
Well, it's easier if we start with Wear Gloves, if I can.
Okay. All right.
Wear Gloves is a nonprofit organization that helps people who are homeless, distressed, or in transition work. And they have basically kind of like three legs off of that nonprofit. One is the Dignity Center, where they provide employment for people.
Where's that? Where's the Dignity
So
Center?
it is on 1469 North Magnolia.
Okay.
Yes.
And is that like an offshoot of a church or something?
No, it's the Wear Gloves is kind of the main umbrella, and then these are different pieces under it.
Okay.
So we have the Dignity Center, where people will come and work. We make soap, we make candles, palette art. So people will come in and they'll have an interview process. So we'll talk to them about, what are their goals, what are their needs, and we'll want to talk to them about meeting those goals and needs. So maybe needs to
somebody who's homeless,
right,
walks in the door and says, "I need a job."
Right.
Wow.
Right. So we'll talk to them to see if we can help them out and kind of see what their goals are.
Right.
So maybe they just want to work to earn steel-toed boots. Right. So we'll give them some work to do that, to earn that. Maybe they need the boots so that they could go to Action Labor and work. Maybe they needed a bike or a tent.
I see. So a specific need.
Right.
Not a career.
Right. But if somebody is trying to get indoors, so maybe that's more of a long-term employment that we would do for them. So we basically don't pay them cash. We don't give them a check. So if they want the boots, they'll work for say 3 hours, $10 an hour. We'll get them the boots.
Where do you get the boots from? Us? Do we help you with
Yeah.
that?
So some of that from you helping us. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So can I ask this? This is going to sound stupid.
Yeah.
Because I just don't know. Where do they go at the end of the day if they don't have a home?
Yeah, they go into the woods. Into the woods and behind a Publix.
Wow.
And there's tents and just all over the place. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I feel
Or
so
in
bad.
cars. A lot of people sleep in cars. There's a lot of people who do work 40 hours a week but don't have a home. Those people who do work, they just don't have enough to make the ends meet
What's
and to
the
get
reason
by.
for that? Why? It's just the wages are so low here. Is that the
and
problem?
then just a lot of problems. Right. It takes you have to have first and last month's rent to get into places. You have to have references. Lots of things.
Do you serve as a reference?
Yes, absolutely.
After you get to know them, I'm
right.
sure, right?
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we want to learn more about that. So how did you team up with Hiers-Baxley? What's going on? This is tomorrow now, right? We're doing something tomorrow?
Right.
Okay.
That's correct. We're having, we just teamed up with them to serve their coffee at our funeral homes. And
At all of your funeral homes?
yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah,
so now this is Dignity Roasters we're talking about.
that's correct.
Okay, I
Yep.
still haven't made the connection with the separation between Dignity Roasters and Wear Gloves.
Well, Wear Gloves is the umbrella organization of the ministry.
Okay.
And Dignity Roasters is a part of the ministry.
Okay, so is part of what they do, Clint? I'm just go back and
Yes.
forth a little bit.
Right. So yeah, wear gloves. And then we have the Dignity Center where we do those things like make soap, palette art. And then another piece is the roasting where we roast coffee. And then we'll sell that
Okay.
and create jobs by roasting coffee. So I have trained someone to roast coffee. We bag the coffee, stamp the coffee, put the coffee in the bag. So
Right.
we're creating jobs through the coffee. And then we'll sell subscriptions to churches and to individuals, and we'll ship that directly.
So I can buy coffee from you,
Right.
get my coffee fix,
Yes.
and help out the homeless.
And help people. Right. So basically when you do that, you help us, help others, help themselves. So it's not about handouts. It's
Okay.
about building their dignity, showing who they are in God's image and just kind of coming alongside them and helping them earn what they need instead of handouts.
Missy or anybody, do you have what happens when a homeless person dies? Does Hiers-Baxley sometimes have to cover the cost, and how does that happen?
Yeah, we work pretty closely with the city liaison, Dennis Yantz, to help. If he runs across a situation where he needs help, he'll call me. So yes, in the past we have done them at no charge.
So you're teaming up as a subscriber to the coffee service?
Exactly right.
Okay.
And how it started for us, as far as Hiers getting involved with it, about a year ago, we received a phone call from First United Methodist Church on the Boulevard.
Okay.
And
That's a big white church, right?
yes,
Uh-huh.
yeah. And they have a program called Tuesday Ministries, and their program director of Tuesday Ministries was lacking volunteers. And she called me. I knew on a personal level. She said, "I need help. Can you send some people over?"
Mm-hmm.
So that was on a Monday afternoon. Tuesday morning, we sent 3 people over there. And it really just started as a favor to help her out. And as the 3 of us got more wrapped up in it and helping, it really became a calling for several of us to get involved. And so we started helping on a local level, going out on Monday nights and helping to feed, as well as Tuesday ministries at the church. But then I started looking at the situation and realizing that we weren't really helping people just by giving them stuff. And so I started kind of looking around, trying to figure out a better way to do things.
Mm-hmm.
And Melissa said, "Hey, have you ever heard of this guy over across the way there? His name is Ken. He has this wear gloves thing." And I said, "No, I've never heard of him." So I reached out to him and spent probably a good 2 hours just visiting with him and listening to his model. And I really think he's on track to help. It's a problem in the city. And my personal thought on it is we can't arrest our way out of the problem by arresting homeless people. We've got to find a program to help them get back up on their feet and wear gloves. Dignity Roasters, through Wear Gloves and his programs, was just a perfect fit for what we wanted to do.
It sounds like a really solid idea. Are we as Ocala? I mean, when I say we, are we the seed of something bigger? Do you think this is going to be all over the country? This sounds like something all cities should be doing.
Yeah, Ken and Wendy Cabertle, who started this ministry in 2009, they've been asked to come to different places. Hey, would you help us plant this in our city? Wendy is actually, she would be here today, but she's in Los Angeles at something similar that's been going on since the 90s, and it's called Homeboys and Homegirls Industries. And you should check that out and see what they do. It's just a huge, they serve, they have a bakery and they serve thousands of people. They help people who are in gangs and out of jail, tattoo removal. And so she's there gathering a lot of information that I think will be helpful to help us push to next levels.
And Sarah, as the community outreach leader for Hiers-Baxley Community Care, did you organize the event that's happening tomorrow beginning at 7 a.m.?
Yes, ma'am. We took one of our rooms that we serve our family coffee. Whenever the family comes in, they can come grab some coffee, some water, and it's called our Common Grounds room. And as soon as we started partnering with Dignity Roasters, we decided to remodel this room and serve only their coffee. And to partner with them, we offer their soaps, their bath bombs, their candles, little key necklaces, their art wall or their wall art for sale at our place for the cost that we get it, and it all goes back to Dignity. So we remodeled our our coffee place for our families for them, and so we are doing a grand opening open house for it, and that's where this event came from. It's our open house to bring the public in, to let them know that this is a partnership that we have and that we're offering to our families and to the people around.
We went to an event at a Hiers-Baxley. Missy, this was in the Villages, I think, where we saw the thing for Frank Lloyd Wright.
Yes, at the Life Event Center in the Villages.
And so that's another outreach that you guys do, as like an event that has nothing to do with somebody dying, other than Frank Lloyd Wright is dead.
Right.
Right? I mean, it's an outreach, right? So is it a difficult sell to get people to come to a funeral home to get some coffee?
It can be. I was actually out passing flyers out the other day, and I was talking to this lady, and she's like, "You're a funeral home?" And I'm like, "Yes, we're a funeral home, but we do more than just that. We get into our community. We love to partner with people. We like to change lives and make differences and to do all we can, because we're a funeral home, but we're in Ocala. And if we're just going to be a funeral home, then what's the point? Like, we need to get out there and to touch the lives of
you are
the
out there
people.
so much. We do see you, but I understand that woman's question. It makes sense to me. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but I kind of know you guys through Missy, so I think I know more about what you do because of that. So getting the word out is kind of what radio is all about. It's probably a big struggle for everybody. Is it a hard struggle to get the homeless people to find out about a program that they can use to maybe get out of being homeless or to improve their lives? Is that a hard thing to do?
It's not really. They communicate really well. They find out, if someone is new to town, they will find out where you go for clothing, where you go for food, and who can help you. Mm-hmm. So that works. We also have one of the other things we do with Wear Gloves is Church in the Garden. So it's church for outside. We sit at the table. People who are housed and not housed come together, sit at the table, worship, and just spend time together. So that's another area where we can help them find out about the other things that we do.
I'll tell you, for me too, a lot of it was not walking by somebody, but stopping and talking to them. And what I've done is built relationships with, a year and a half ago, I would have walked by somebody. And so actually stopping and talking to them and finding out what their needs are, I can point them in this direction now. And they're a perfect resource. So again, with what I do in the community, the homeless community, I have Tuesday Ministries as a resource. I have Wear Gloves as a resource. So for me, it's being able to talk to them and say, hey, listen, you need a tent? Well, if you go to this place and you work for 4 hours, they'll help you with that.
Wow, and that's good. And again, that person wouldn't have known that if somebody didn't stop and talk to them. Can I? I'm going to tap into a long time ago for myself. It's a personal story. I worked at a pizza place on the beach in Santa Monica, California. To get there, I had to walk through a city park. In that park were a lot of homeless people, and I got to know them and speak to them. And some of them seemed like they were somehow, what happened to you? I mean, you could have been an executive at a corporation. And others seemed to have mental illnesses. I used to bring the pizza, by the way.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with that? I don't know if you have somebody who could have been an executive at a corporation. He has the intellect, the ability to understand what you're saying. But how do you work with somebody who may have a mental illness? I'm guessing we have our share of that in Ocala as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, people they're going to have to want to be helped, right? Some people, they just need someone to listen to them and look them in the eye and just kind of spend time with them to find out kind of where they're at and that they're cared about. Yeah. But yeah, we have a lot of people who have all kinds of skills, and because of one thing that happened or addiction, and we just got to come alongside them as a community and say, hey, that's okay. We can help you get back on your feet, and you don't have to repeat a cycle. We can get you to another level. But there are people who are mentally ill, and we need to find some places for them to get help.
Yeah.
And that's a little deeper than what we do, but we can point them in the right direction.
Rob and I have an amazingly unique situation by doing radio, in that we get to meet people like yourselves who are doing wonderful things for the community, and they're all over the place. We have such an amazing community. I always like to say, I hope we're not unique. I hope other communities have other Wear Gloves ministries, or like the one you said out in LA, the Homeboys. It was Homeboys. I just hope that we're not unique, but regardless of whether we are or not, we are what we are. And again, it's communication that is our job, and that's probably key to almost anything, whether it's a business or trying to help out. The fact that you have Missy over there, I mean, she owns a radio station,
Right.
so it makes a big difference. Is it a difficult thing, Missy, to get this message out, do you think?
Well, sure it is. It's difficult to get any kind of message out. I think what really hit home for me is we, being Hiers-Baxley, we had one of our meetings at Dignity Roasters, and Wendy came out and she was, giving a little just informational speech about how they worked, kind of like Clint did here. And one of the things that she said that really hit home with me was, and I think I told you this the other day, they teach employment skills to people, customer service to people who have never been customers. So
Yes.
you don't really realize, you want to say, well, why don't they just go get a job? Well,
Right.
some of these people, they could get a job and they wouldn't know what to do when they were in
That's
there.
interesting.
So it's kind of teaching life skills also to people that are okay with teaching that. They don't, have a pressure on
That
them.
is a really interesting observation, that you don't know how to give customer service if you've never been a customer. That is interesting. So how do you do it? I mean, I don't know who wants to answer. How do you, and you're right, once you've experienced this, then gosh, you could get a job at pretty much any place that's in retail, right?
Yeah, and when they complete the program through Wear Gloves, they have a Safe Serve certificate. Is that what it's?
Yeah. So if you worked in town at a restaurant, Mojo's or something, you have to get this Safe Serve certificate to work in the restaurants. And so they would get that training under us as well. And,
Can I get that certificate? Rob?
yeah, come on by.
What does that do? Tell them I'm safe to serve?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But yeah, it's just a process and training. And we did kind of have that aha moment where we opened up Dignity Roasters, where we have this coffee shop, and it's like, all right, hey, Carol, you're going to serve some people. And it's like, oh, you go back over and you top off their coffee. You give them a warm up, right? Where maybe they haven't been in a restaurant in 15 years or 10 years. That's like that. Maybe they've been in a McDonald's, but not somewhere where they come around and check on you. So that we can't take that for granted that they don't know those things.
So we can do that as an individual. We can actually go to Dignity Roasters and have that cup of coffee
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
And this will be happening also tomorrow from 7 till 9. So Missy, we can come to your place and experience that same experience.
Absolutely. I want everybody to come and see me tomorrow morning.
How do you keep it all balanced when you have community events like this, and then you have to tend to the needs of the families that need services?
That's you, Steve.
That's a great question. To us, it goes hand in hand. We're serving in the morning. We're going to be serving the part of the community that's headed to work and wants a free cup of coffee. We're going to be serving them, and then we're going to shift gears at 9 o'clock when this event is over and start serving the families that have come and trust us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all for us. One of the big key things that we push to our team is service. It's all about service. And that's really, again, how, we came across Wear Gloves and Dignity Roasters. It's all about service. And one thing I want to kind of bounce back that you mentioned about people who might be squeamish to come into a funeral home.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to swing by and you don't want to come into the funeral home, we'll have people out there that will run you out a cup of coffee. If
Oh,
you don't
really?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because
What do they do? Call something? Or?
no, we'll have staff out there. We're going to be fully staffed in the morning. I'm bringing in
Just pull into the parking lot?
pulling in the parking lot and yell out your order, and we'll get you your coffee with cream or whatever it is you want. You don't have to come into the funeral home.
Can I get an Uber guy to get it for me? 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm going to be here.
Send them over.
I'll just get an Uber guy.
How about we send Sarah to deliver some to you?
And Sarah, when you were passing out the flyers, you must have passed them out to all age groups. Which age group do you think was the most receptive?
I think a little bit of everybody was very receptive. I mean, it's free coffee, so they're pretty excited no matter what age. I mean, if you're going to work, you know that you need that cup of coffee in the morning as you go, because otherwise it's not just going to be a rough day. It's going to be a pretty terrible day if you don't have that morning coffee, or whatever gets you going in the morning. So I know I stopped by a place in a lawyer's office, and a young man was sitting at the table, no more than 25, and he was like, "Oh, I'll definitely be there." And then I had stopped by a church, a local church that was down the street, and an elderly lady was out front. She's like, "Oh yeah, I'll definitely be there if it's free coffee." So I think coffee is just a universal drink that goes from all ages. I know I've seen children drinking coffee. I don't know why, but they do drink coffee. Like,
Yeah.
third grade.
It's because we threw the tea into Boston Harbor.
It's because
That's
of
what
the
happened.
tea.
And at the
Yes.
end of the day, it's all about making, like you said, the community aware of Wear Gloves and Dignity Roasters and the service that they're providing. So it's just hopefully a louder voice for them to be able to let everyone know about their ministry and the good work that they're doing.
So just it underscores for me what I've already known. That we live in a really great community.
Yeah, we do.
You guys are so involved. Hiers-Baxley, Clint, you and Angie are in everything. I think Robin and I did an anniversary song for you, didn't we?
You did. That was fantastic.
All right, so let's get so tomorrow 7 to 9 in the morning. You can go to Hiers-Baxley on Silver Springs Boulevard and either go inside. You don't have to worry about going into a funeral. You're just going to go get coffee, right?
That's right. Exactly right.
Absolutely.
And by the way, it's fantastic coffee. It's roasted right here
good
in
to point
Ocala.
out.
So it's fresh. It's not been sitting on a shelf for a month or whatever, right? I mean, this is fresh coffee. It's a Brazilian roast and it's fantastic. So that's the other thing. You're not just getting coffee and helping people. It's fantastic coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And another way we can help is to subscribe to the coffee.
Subscribe to coffee. Yeah, you can go into Dignity Roasters website. You can subscribe. We can have it delivered to you, your business.
What is the website? Dignity.
DignityRoasters.com.
Google.
I'm guessing, yeah,
Okay.
or Facebook, and or not, and the Facebook site. You can look at Wear Gloves. You can go to that to that website and find out the other pieces that we do.
And we also have it there too. So, if you're if you're headed to work and you want to pick up some coffee for your staff or your group, swing by. We're off everything they have. Like you said, we franchise this basically as a service to them. Anything that we sell, the proceeds go directly to them. And I looked at it pretty much how you saw it. I was like, wait a minute, I think we can help this get bigger. So yeah, it's if you swing by.
Good for you. Good.
And Larry, what you talked about, how about maybe is our community uncommon? I think these kind of partnerships are uncommon, and that's what's beautiful about Ocala. Here you've got a funeral home, right? That's saying, hey, let's help this organization out in this way. It's just fantastic, and we find that all the time in our community.
And Missy, you can't, there can't be a better person than you to do a meet and greet tomorrow, because you're always able to bring people and causes together.
Well, I do what I can. You know me, I kind of like to stay in the back in the office. I'm by far the upfront person, but I love being able to put those connections together. That is my thing.
You do an amazing job.
Thank you.
Sarah, are you new to the company?
I am new to the company. I've been here about 4 months now.
Well, you joined a good group.
I did. No better.
They're lucky to have you. You're lucky to have them, right?
Absolutely.
It worked out. Sarah, thank you for coming in. Sarah Overfeld, Stephen Tweedle, good to see you. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Clint Lewis, good to see you. Thank you for the great work you do. And Missy, of course, we love you.
Thanks, Larry.
We'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA.
You are looking to work somewhere that treats employees like family, has a team atmosphere, and